Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another segment of Afrik Atlanta. I'm your host, Ijama, here today with an In the Spotlight interview. With me, I have Mrs. Joy, the host of Real Talk on Unity 1960. So stay tuned, guys. Welcome, Miss Joy.
Thank you so very much.
Pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so let's get it started. So I know by now my viewers are wondering, what is Real Talk all about?
Well, I must say, Real Talk is pretty much like a talk show on Unity 1960. It's web radio, and also we do have the web TV segment as well. And in actuality, for the web radio segment of it, we do interview different people from several walks of life, discussing about real issues, real talk with real people, you know. So it's a real world, real stories. So they all come out there to talk, and we have different conversations. And we do have a separate segment which has to do with health diaries. There we interview MDs and PharmDs concerning current health issues in the economy.
Awesome. So I know my viewers will be looking forward to that, as we need a lot of we need to be able to discuss those issues that are going on today. So when did you get started with Real Talk TV?
But Real Talk and Unity 1960, it's been about like a year now. And then for the TV segment, we just started like this year, 2012. So it's really exciting, and we're looking forward to more things out there. So it's a lot. It's really a huge industry, a lot of like creative stories to talk about. People have like real stories that they have to share. Like in retrospect, like the current TV segment that we just shot, we had like African youths in diaspora. They come out on the set, and then we all talked about experiences they had since they migrated from either Nigeria or Ghana down here to the United States, based on the educational needs, the peer pressure, and just society as a whole, So we really do this in reference to, for those that are back home that are eager, looking forward to coming here to the United States, what kind of experiences, the real thing, because, most people back home, they're thinking it's all like exciting, all fine and dandy over here, but it's not. It's not the same experience you're gonna like walk through. When once you walk through the corridors of school, it's a whole total different picture. The people you meet, the impression they're gonna give to you, and all that. So it's really exciting, but it's something we have to discuss just to give people like valid information.
Exactly. Yeah. Transition is never easy.
Most
so
definitely.
It's good, because I'm sure some of my viewers who've actually gone through this as well, so they can relate to it.
Most definitely. In the United States, as opposed to that of Nigeria.
Most definitely. Like, both of them are very different. The education system is so different from each other. Like, the teachers, the way they attack students, like teach students, are completely different. Over here, they sort of make it a little bit more easier for you. Like, they try to give you more ways to get involved, like hands-on activities more than in Nigeria, where we'd have to like do the work ourselves. It's like we have to like actually go into the books and look for stuff to do. But it's
all right, Ms. Joy. So for my viewers who don't know, Real Talk encompasses two parts. It has a web segment that can be viewed on YouTube, and it also has a radio segment that people can chime in at all times. So elaborate a little bit more on the radio segment as far as Unity 1960 is concerned.
Thank you so very much. Now, when it comes to the radio segment that's on web radio, for the listeners and the viewers out there, what they have to do is they have to log on the internet to www.unity1960.com, and then of course they have to click listen live in order for them to listen and participate. And my show currently runs on Saturdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which of course probably Nigerian or African time, GMT time, probably 5 or 6 hours after that. But there on the web radio, it's more interactive because that's when we're on live, and whereby most of the listeners, they could call in, which you want to participate, you could call in. The studio lines are like 408-560-1960, whereby you could call in and participate. A lot of like hot topics, questions could be asked, and we have a lot of people that are concerned, and they might want to call in and ask questions to the host or whoever I bring in on on the set as a guest. So it's very interactive and when it's live, and then also is recapped during the week, Monday through Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's really exciting, you know, because we have a lot of like real issues and real stories and a lot of information a lot of people can provide. So irrespective of whoever I'm going to be interviewing on the show, we have a lot of people that can chime in and also make a contribution or probably ask the guest a question. So that's what we make it very interactive, and what makes it very exciting is like Unity 1960 is Africa's #1 radio web station, and you can connect with us on global all over. We have listeners in, you know, in Sweden, Paris. I love the French listeners. They're like my best. I mean, of course I know Nigerian, but don't get me wrong, I have a little French side of me.
I was gonna say you like them better than us Nigerians.
Well, let's just leave it as that.
Okay, all right. It's for the people, guys. It's for the people.
Exactly.
So everyone can chime in.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So that's the radio side of Real Talk. So tell us a little bit more about the web segment you just started recently.
Well, the web television segment, you know, you could catch that on YouTube. What we do bring in various people from different walks of life, and we do interview them. The first segment, which was so exciting, very dramatic, I must say, you know, to catch it on YouTube, is Real Talk with Joy. It has to do with African youths and diaspora. We brought in several youths from 2 different countries, from Nigeria and Ghana, and they had to come in and they shared the experiences that they have migrating from different countries down to the United States, based on, you know, it has to do with like when we have love and relationship, the experiences, you know, culture shock, you know, peer pressure as well from school, the educational system, how well they could fit in, and the challenges that they experience in the society. So it's something that's very, very informative, that for those of us that are back home, or like the youth that are coming up and they're interested in like migrating here to the United States for one reason or the other, you really need to watch it and listen, so at least you have a broader view of things.
Exactly. Okay, very informative, very informative. So I'm curious, what actually inspired this movement? You know, because I know it's nothing you just roll over and say you want to do. So what actually geared you up to?
Well, I would say, you know, I mean, just like the name says, Real Talk. We have a lot of people that have various stories.
So, Ms. Joy, I'm really loving it. Actually, prior to the show, I was looking at some of the segments on YouTube, and it's very informative, guys. So you guys should stay tuned and actually tune into what Ms. Joy is doing, because it's a movement. So I'm wondering by now, like, what actually inspired you to do this? Because I know this is nothing you just roll over and decide, hey, I'm going to do radio, I'm going to do TV, I'm going to do all this. You know, it takes a lot of work and inspiration. So what was behind that?
Well, I would say, you know, in life we have like a lot of events, a lot of stories and real issues and real concerns that really have to be aired out there for the world to see and know the truth about things, you know. So you really want like a real life experience, one-on-one, people sharing their stories, what's really going on in the society or the experiences. So that's why I really use this as a medium, you know, for the radio part of it. We can call in, talk about, you know, things, and, you know, they could say like on Real Talk, you know, on the radio part, we do have a little segment which is Health Diaries. There I do interview, you know, I do interview like PharmDs and MDs, you know, medical doctors. They come in here. We have like several topics, like 2 hot topics. We talked about female genital mutilation. That was something that was crazy.
Wow.
You know, we talked about the extreme, the social impact, the psychological part of it, you know, and what a lot of people, the transition, what they go through. And also we also talked about health and wellness, you know, preventive medicine, what you could do, you know, and also, you know, lifestyle. I mean, I'm like on a different plus size, but, you know, we have a lot of, you know, health issues and advice that they have to share with the people, so they come through as a medium. And then on the television part, same thing. Great stories, hot topics, you know. And so I felt like, you know, we're going to use this medium to address, you know, just to showcase people, their lives, you know, so far you're real with it, you know, as opposed to just like clipping fictional stuff, you know, fictional stories. Let's bring the non-fictional, exactly. Let's just bring the non-fictional stories, talk about it, and also, you know, autistic kids. That's like, I'm really passionate about autism, you know, and that's like a move that I'm like working on. So I'm very passionate about that. The next segment, the next clip coming up, you're gonna see like a wide variety of autistic kids. We're going to the center, talk about it, the experiences that their parents had from birth. And if you notice, like autism is very, very different here as opposed to back home.
Exactly.
Back home, they can like affiliate it with like either witchcraft, or you probably might see a lesser amount of, you know, autism. You know, you probably might see certain kind of conditions like those that are born deaf or dumb. But I must really say, I just realized based on a few research that we have about like, I guess about like 1 or 2 schools for autism there in Lagos. And I met with, there's a lady that I met, yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I'm going to get that information provided to the viewers and, you know, the listeners out there. It was really touching because I felt as though for you to channel that, you know, the same way the system is structured over here in America, back to Nigeria, set up that kind of system, a schooling, you know, environment whereby those, you know, kids, young adults that are like suffering with autism can be, you know, they can, you know, come together and, you know, feel like someone, to feel as though there's a society, as opposed to being ostracized, and, you know. So I just use this medium because I'm really passionate about that. And just, you know, share life stories, let people talk, and let's just be real. So it doesn't matter what segment, it doesn't really matter what, you know, what part. We have various people from different works of life. You know, I have had the opportunity to interview sports icon, you know, Tunde TJ Janadu. He's on a European, you know, football team. And also here in Atlanta, Georgia, on the political part, you know, that's on the web radio, that's Unity 1960. We use that as a channel to address the Nigerians. So whereby I did bring in the current consul general of the Nigerian embassy. I believe his name is Chinolabe, Honorable Consulate Chinolabe. So he did come on the show, and that was like, it was really, it was huge. It was big because the lines were open. A lot of Nigerians were calling in, asking questions, they were concerned, raising up issues that had to do with the consulate, why, you know, just various issues with the ECOWAS passport, you know, you're aware of it, and then why the Nigerian consulate or the consulate itself is like, you know, probably a little, it gives a different vibe, you know, the positive and the negative. And he was real. That's one thing I like about it. He was real. We had a lot of people calling from various countries just to ask him questions, because that's the closest you can really get to some of this high profile, you know, celebrities and certain people. So that's just a means of addressing people, and I really enjoy it. So.
Alright guys, so you've heard it from Mrs. Joy herself. There's pretty much nothing she doesn't touch. Social, relationships, educational, healthcare, very informative sessions. You guys should tune in. She has a lot in store, and I'm sure it's a lot you guys can take from it as well.
You want to get something more exciting from it too?
Exactly.
Now, a different part of the TV portion of Real Talk, different segments called Cooking on Hills. It's really exciting. It's going to be coming up shortly. Now, the first thing you heard is Cooking on Hills. Yeah, it's going to be like a cooking show. No problem. Different people from different various countries of Africa, Nigerians, or whatever it is, will take the camera to your crib. Nice kitchen all set up. But the catch is this. And whoever the lady is, she has to bring her swag on. Completely looking fabulous from head to toe. You can get decked up with your Gucci or your Valentino or whatever it is. Because in the real world, it's not every woman that looks all fly and everything else that can drop it like it's hot in the kitchen. Am I correct?
That's true. That's true.
So that's one thing about it. So that's a part of Cooking on Heels. It's like we want to see how well they can really throw it on in the kitchen, still looking fly and fabulous in the kitchen. And then from there we'll walk it through to the dining and see how well she can host her guests. We'll have a couple of people in there to taste the various food from various continents. So we have Nigerian dishes, we have South Africa, Kenya, and everything else. You see how well we can, you know, how well she can host the people, and then they can go ahead and give her an A+ or what do you call it, a S or something.
F-.
By F- or something. But at the end, of course, we're going to give up like a red toast to Cooking on Heels. So it's really exciting. We have a lot of people lined out. It's really exciting. So I'm really looking forward to it, because she'll bring up her swagger side, you know, show us how well.
I know my viewers are definitely going to.
Oh yeah, it's really going to be hot, you know. So it's not really going to be like about the crib or anything. It's going to be about her lifestyle.
So what's the minimum for the heels?
Well, it's really up to her.
There has to be a minimum though.
Nah, well, I don't really want to put that structure, but if we're talking about like 4.
Yeah.
4-inch, 5-inch, whatever it is, you can work. I can rock only 4 or 5-inch, nothing else. But it's up to the lady. Whatever she wants to just be comfortable, but you got to look fly completely.
Okay.
From head to toe, you got to look fly, very nice. Just do your thing, and then we'll see how well you can host your guests. Bring it to the table, fine dining, all 3 different course meals, serve, and you know it's gonna be hot. So
all right, guys.
Just look out for that part too.
We have so much to look forward to from Mrs. Joy, guys. So stay tuned.
So thank you so very much, Afrik, for having me here on the show, in this segment of the show. I'm Joy with Real Talk with Joy. You could catch me also online www.unity1960.com. Just click on Listen Live to listen to our shows. The station's on 24/7. And also you can, of course, you have an option. You can flip on YouTube and check out some of the videos and keep looking forward to Cooking on Heels. And if you want to follow up with me, you could contact me by email, info@realtalkwithjoy. And also at this point, I truly love you, audience listeners. Thank you for supporting Afrik, and thank you so much for being real, because we are real people living real lives, having real issues and real stories. It's Real Talk with Joy. God bless.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this segment of Afrik Atlanta. We want to give a special thank you to our guest, Mrs. Joy of Real Talk TV. Viewers, stay tuned. Remember to log onto our website, www.eafrik.com. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and stay tuned. We have so much in store.
Thank you.